Right, hello lads and lasses, welcome back to Boys Down Under, where we all know what this video is going to be about. Well, not specifically, but you get the gist of it. We are going around the news and looking at all the stories regarding Celtic that have pretty much came out today or yesterday. But before we go any further though, please remember or consider to like the video and subscribe to the channel. It's the best way to help support the channel, supports me, and supports what I do, shows me you guys are interested in it, so that's great. But without further ado, let's get into it. So, Ben Doak, we all know who he is, the second youngest ever Celtic player, 2 appearances this season, only very recently turned 16 years old, a boyhood Celtic fan, but after being given the absolute world, he looks set to leave Celtic to join Premier League outfit Liverpool and their academy. Now, there's been a lot of speculation recently. It's been dating back to since he made his debut against Dundee United, and that regards where his future lies. Now, from the beginning, Liverpool have always been mentioned. They've always been around about. It's always been expected that mentioned that he will go somewhere in the Premier League, most likely Liverpool. But now it is becoming increasingly likely he will make the move south for around £150,000, albeit spare change for Celtic, but still a very talented prospect that Celtic will be losing out on. So, Ange has also commented on the situation regarding Doak, saying, with Karamoko and Ben, they're in a similar boat. It's all about their futures and where they see their futures. I've said all along that for me, this football club is everything that a young player should want. But they've got to be invested in our football club. They've got to want to be here, and they've got to want to be here a long time. If they see their futures elsewhere or they're not certain, then I have total respect for that. And everyone has the right to make their own decisions, but I'm going to invest time and opportunity into the people who want to stay at our football club. Very long quote, I know, sorry about that, but still, it speaks the truth, and the same goes for Youri Karamoko. I'd love to see both of them stay at Celtic, trust me, I would. They are both very talented, young, exciting prospects with a heap of potential about them. But the bottom line is, no one can force them to stay at Celtic. If they don't want to be here, it's not anyone's decision but themselves. And at the end of the day, that isn't Ange's fault. It isn't the club's fault. It's no one's fault. It's the player's decision and where their head is at. So, look, we can be upset about it. We can be annoyed that we're losing out on our young prospects. But at the end of the day, that's how football works, I'm sure Watford were absolutely devastated to lose Bosun Lowell to Celtic in our academy. It's just the way it works. So, if these rumours are true and Doak does go, thank you for your time at the club. Good luck for the future. As for Karamoko, you better stay at the club. Anyways, elsewhere in the news, Celtic's greatest ever goalkeeper, Paki Bonner, has recently been in the media with nothing but praise for Celtic's Greek god Georgios Giacomakis. He's gone on to BBC Sport Sound and said, he's a handful. Listen, he's one of these players that is all arms and legs and strength. He's different than maybe what the modern type of striker is. He'll get his goals. One thing I would say about Giacomakis is that he's working very hard. He's putting a shift in. When he came at first, he almost looked as if he needed to get his fitness levels up. He's got those up now, and he's working very, very hard for the team. So it's clear Mr. Bonner is clearly a fan of Georgios Giacomakis, and I mean at this point, who isn't? Seriously, he is giving 110% every time he is on that pitch for Celtic. He is scoring goals, he is pressing off the ball, he is dropping back for link-up play, trying to get involved in that. He's quickly becoming a fan favourite. Very rapidly is the word I would use. And for me, he feels like a January signing that has absolutely hit the ground running. As we all know, that isn't true. However, and look, while fans are still, on the edge of their seats, always looking on social media, always looking on the internet to get a hint, a whiff of when Kyogo will return to the club, I've got to say, we are doing bloody alright with a striker who was never going to cut it at Celtic and doesn't suit our play style and was a dud signing and in the end. So, you've made the best out of a bad situation. No, I'm joking. Giakoumakis, class. He's getting the plaudits, and I think it's the best. It's great for his confidence. It's great for the team. You can tell he's passionate, and it's just everything about him. The comments he's made in the media about Celtic winning the league, reeks of confidence, and it reeks of that's what you need leading your line. You need a confident alpha type striker. Obviously, Kyogo, incredible. He isn't really the alpha type striker, but when you have someone like Giakoumakis up there, you know they're going to score goals, and he's been doing that, and he's been doing other things for the team, which is just absolutely great to see. 2 goals against Dundee United. Hopefully a heap more to come, and we'll have to see what lies in his Celtic future for the rest of the season. Hopefully 2 more trophies and a domestic treble. But moving on, however, with a bit of international news. Obviously, were a few players called up today. There are still more to come, with the Australian team set to be announced tomorrow, and other countries as well. You got Sweden for Carl Starfelt and whatnot. Anyways, regardless, what have we got so far? Firstly, most importantly, huge congratulations to Matt O'Riley, who has earned his first ever call-up to the Danish national team. Well, the under-21s team, but it is still the Danish national team. Huge for Matt. He has been absolutely class since signing from MK Dons. If it was up to me, I would have brought him up to the main team straight away. But it's good to integrate him through the younger teams. It's been speculated for the last couple of weeks. It was always going to be pretty certain he was going to switch allegiances to Denmark rather than England, and now it's officially happened. Congratulations to him, and hopefully the first cap of many for Mr. O'Riley. However, it's not all sunshines and daisies for the Celtic players in terms of international football. Steve Clarke has absolutely snubbed Anthony Ralston out of the Scottish team for our friendly against Poland. I cannot believe Stephen O'Donnell has gotten the nod here. Seriously, I cannot believe he has been picked. Stephen O'Donnell has been picked over Tony Ralston. I can understand the Patterson decision. That suits itself. But O'Donnell? Seriously? No chance anyone in their right mind chooses Stephen O'Donnell over the Bricky himself. This isn't just me with the Celtic fan bias. Ralston has been so incredible this season. He's been miles clear of O'Donnell. What does... It's just, I get it's a friendly, you want to put your best squad forward, and the best squad involves Tony Ralston. So, look, I guess it's good. It's one less game, the chance he won't get injured. I don't know, but it's just disappointing for me, and I can only understand what disappointment Ralston's feeling after being snubbed like that, because I think it's completely out of the blue and a completely wrong decision. But third and finally, some speculative international news. We love our speculation on this channel because, how interesting would life be if everything was certain, Anyways, Karamoko Dembele quickly mentioned him earlier regarding his future at Celtic, but now we're going to talk about his future internationally. He's represented Scotland, he's represented England in the youths, but he looks set to change for a second time and represent the Ivory Coast. Funnily enough, those 3 nationalities he can represent are the only 3 he can represent. He was born in South London. He moved to Glasgow when he was 1, but both his parents are from the Ivory Coast. But he has been approached by their FA and is being asked to appear for them later this year, and then later in the Africa Cup of Nations whenever the next one is. And he's been asked to represent the Ivory Coast internationally. So it appears that Karamoko has an absolutely two absolutely crucial decisions to make on his future. One on his club, one on his international career. Whatever he decides, I'm sure it will be the best for him. What I want him to decide on, Celtic and Scotland. As easy as that. Will he decide Celtic and Scotland? I don't think the odds are very favourable right now, but we can only hope, because I'd like to see Karamoko stay at the club without a doubt. As for what national team he represents, that's national pride. Whoever he feels he's got in here, then that's who he should represent. That's my take on the national teams. But yeah, as for Celtic, we Karamoko, you better bloody stay because you are absolutely techers and we need some good techers at the club. Imagine being able to swap between a Barter, Forest and Karamoko. Well, doing that right now, a Barter, Forest and Karamoko. Abundance of talent and they each bring something different, which is class. But that is all from me. So remember to like the video, subscribe to the channel, leave in the comments below your thoughts on the Ben Doak and Karamoko situations. Do you think Celtic should make more of an effort to keep them at the club, or do you think do you agree with Anjan saying if they don't want to be here, he can't do anything about it? It's the player's decision in the end. But until next time, hail, hail.